My name is Kezzie and welcome to the Team Kezzie videocast, brought to you by K Ranch, where we teach horse owners how to care for and train their own horses and follow their equestrian dreams. Hello, welcome to the Team Kezzie videocast. Today is a big topic about how to guard your heart and how to spread hope. I want to start a movement over the next few weeks of spreading hope and joy amongst some terrible times. It's an interesting time with the coronavirus pandemic going around, and there's a lot of uncertainty, and our social medias outlets are very busy with information, and we need to be able to guard ourselves so that we can stay strong. And then we need to be the light in other people's lives and spreading hope so that we can grow and become better through this situation and come out stronger on the other side. So here are a couple of things that I'm going to talk about today, and I hope you stick around. I'm so excited that you're here and that we can join this and do this together and create a powerful front to address the horse world and encourage each other also to grow in our horse knowledge and, like I said, become stronger at the end of this. So I want to show you how to consume information. There's so much information flooding us right now with news media and with social media being a big source of information. There's a lot going on there. And we need to be able to, this is a big piece of the guarding yourself. How do you consume that content without becoming overwhelmed and frustrated and filled with fear? So we're going to talk about that. And I also want to talk about how we as a community can join together and spread that hope. How we present ourselves and how we encourage ourselves so that when people are consuming so much content and there is so much fear, how do we spread hope to get ourselves through? Because without hope and confidence, we can't make the proper choices for our families and ourselves, and we're going to cause a lot more damage than can be caused by anything else in this pandemic situation. I also want to talk to you about making lemonade out of lemons. That phrase for some reason is coming to my mind a lot lately, and I'm sharing it a lot. And I'm not trying to dumb the situation down and say all of this isn't serious, because of course it is. But amongst that, we can choose to the lemons of all of a sudden having free time, of the kids being home, all of these situations. How can we turn that into lemonade and make the best of that situation, as well as take it serious at the same time? So to get going, our Facebook pages and Instagram are overwhelmed with news, and some of it's good news, some of it's bad news, some of it's correct news, some of it's false news. And the idea of just all of that coming in and having to choose what is false, what is right, vetting it all, seeing what the sources are, it still overwhelms our minds. And so the news is essential because we do need to know what's happening. This is an important time to be making decisions, and it's hard to know what's right to do and what's wrong to do, and you have to make those decisions. But you can consume it in a way that allows you to maintain your confidence and, again, figure out what needs to be turned into lemonade and what needs to be taken seriously. So for example, last week was the first big week of news, I would say. And to be honest, my life didn't change too drastically. We have lots of horses and animals on the property, so of course that still had to be done. So that daily work was still happening. And I still did most of my lessons, pretty much all of them, because a lot of them are private and a lot of them are haul in too. So, we don't even share equipment and surfaces really. And horseback riding you have to keep your distance while you're on your horse anyways. And so we did continue to do that, especially because kids didn't have school, and if we can do it healthily and have our social distancing, it's not a terrible outlet. So my life didn't change very much, but it still found myself sometimes feeling overwhelmed, even though I wasn't fearful and stressed out very much about the virus and all of the news. I still had moments where my brain was just busy. It wouldn't turn off, and I think that was because of the consumption. So I wanted to research all of the information. I wanted to figure out what was going on. And I think you can overwhelm yourself with too much information, and that no longer turns into a positive gaining of knowledge. It overwhelms you, and then you kind of stop thinking. It blocks you from making good decisions. So I think a good recommendation, and what I am going to kind of follow through with, and I hope that you will too, is make a conscious decision about how much you're going to consume, whether that's put a timer on that I'm only going to spend 5 minutes scrolling through the news articles, or maybe choosing 3-4 news sources that you're going to choose to follow and listen to those. I personally like the actual press conferences that are on video and hearing it straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak. So I listen to those, but limit yourself. For how many times per day? You're only going to check it in the morning for half an hour when all the new news is coming out, and maybe the evening. Which ones you're going to trust, and just limit that so that your brain can get the information and you can make the decisions without cluttering it and making it just go on complete overdrive. So I encourage all of you to pick whatever is right for your life. And like I've mentioned multiple times, guarding your heart, guarding your stress, guarding your brain, guarding yourself so that you don't turn into overwhelm. How are you going to help your family? How are you going to make the proper decisions when your brain is so cluttered and can't even think? Another thing that you can do is, especially on social media, some information is positive and it's given in a light of love and information or facts, and some is just fear-based, and it's telling other people what not to do, is telling other people what to think. And that if you find specific sources that are frustrating you, or not really frustrating you, but maybe raising your blood pressure. So every time you read and you see whose it is, it makes you start questioning yourself or feel bad or feel scared. Maybe those are good ones to pause at the moment. You can unfollow temporarily. You can hide posts and choose what enters you, what enters your brain, what enters your heart. And so that you can do the best that you can possibly do. It doesn't mean that you don't care for those individuals that are sharing those things, and it comes from it might even come because they're trying to help people, but you need to do what you need to do to get through this time with you and your family, make the right choices, be prepared, and come out of it stronger. And so if you need to pause somebody, they don't need to know, and just so that you're not constantly reading that and having your blood pressure rise and your overwhelm rise and your stress level and fear rise every time, then do it. Bring good stuff in so that good stuff can come out. So take it seriously, but the things that stress you out are not helpful. And that goes to the point of check your own statements that you're posting on social media or saying to other people. Instead of phrasing things about condemning people and telling them what not to do and how horrible is this world for making these wrong choices, you're supposed to be staying in, don't go here. Very judgmental statements about, and turning it into a personal attack in some ways, that it's read as you are bad. Come at it from a different angle. If you want to spread your opinion, spread it with knowledge and love. Share articles that you respect. Share the news that you have chosen. So if there's those 3 news outlets that you've decided that you trust, share those articles. Give people hope. And when you teach someone out of caring and love and providing information instead of a way that you're forcing it down their throat and telling them what they need to do and that you hate people that do such and such a thing, you're going to make a bigger difference, because as soon as you make someone put their guard up, they're not listening anymore. So defensive people, if you create a defensive person with your statement, you're not helping anyone. You're raising other people's blood pressure. So if you're going to spread information about the pandemic or things that you learned, do it in a positive light and an encouraging light, and build people up, and they will start to listen. But defensive people don't listen. They act in fear. They feel fearful. They resent it. So you're probably doing more harm than good. So check your own posts as well. So when you're thinking about what makes your blood pressure rise when you read it from other people, check what you're saying as well. And after you've kind of put those steps into place about how to guard your heart and protect yourself so that you can have the right mindset, that's when we also need to flood the entire world with some hope. And of course, there's hope. This is just a temporary situation. There will be dire consequences. Sure, lots of businesses have to shut down. Jobs are changing. There are consequences, but you can't change those. The only way that you can change those is by providing some hope, and then, like I mentioned before, making that lemonade out of the lemons and taking your time and doing something productive with it. So together, let's spread some hope. So I'm setting this campaign out, and this whole purpose of this message, and what I'm going to do the next few weeks, I don't know how long, we'll see how long it goes, is to provide inspirational quotes, inspirational videos, inspirational thankful pictures about what I'm thankful for, what you're thankful for. Let's spread that. And what are we doing with our lemons? What are we doing with our extra time? When we spread that and remember to keep our perspective about things, that this is temporary, that there are consequences. So what can we change? Accept the things that we cannot change and change the things that we can. What do we have control over? When we can keep that perspective and we encourage others to keep that perspective, then the best outcome will end up happening. When we just focus on the fear and the stress, that outcome in the end is going to be worse than it would have, just by the consequences, the natural consequences of things shutting down and not being able to do things in person. I was talking to a friend who does therapy, and she just mentioned that now they're rolling out how to do it online and do it via Zoom and different things. And guess what? That's going to possibly change some services in the future. It's going to open up some educational opportunities to many people who are going to learn to use these resources, and those resources are going to soar afterwards. So a unintended consequence, I guess, that is positive. But if we don't keep perspective like that, and we don't share those things with others, then those good things aren't going to come from it. So please help me, I guess, share this message, share those inspirational quotes. I will provide you with many you can follow on K Ranch, and I'll also have an email group going out regularly to provide you with materials that you can share, the ones that kind of hit home to you, or create your own. But let's join together and help each other have hope and gain perspective. And that comes to being thankful as well. I think that's one of the main perspectives that can change our day. So last year was a huge, huge year for me, as I decided to take K Ranch online more, and we created some new products. And that was a big undertaking, as well as having some of our biggest ever show goals with traveling to Oklahoma from Oregon for POA Congress and all of that. And you've heard me talk about some of that stuff. One of the things that really, I think, got me through to work each day and have productiveness was every morning saying my thankful prayers. So just, in my prayers each morning, just listing off what I'm thankful for and what I've been blessed with. And it really simplifies things. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about sharing that perspective. And that's just one simple way. And I will share many, many more with you. But those thankful pictures that people are sharing to lighten the world, that does more than you think. So keep spreading those around. Said it over and over again. Making lemonades out of lemons is kind of my next topic. We've been dealt a card as a country, a world, a city, a family that's never been seen before in this way. It's uncertain, and we don't have a roadmap, and we're having to create our own. But at the same time, a lot of us, not everybody, has more free time, or our kids have more free time, or our friends have more free time as work changes, travel changes. We're working from home. We no longer have to drive an hour to work. All of these things open opportunities. It's those that maybe we didn't want, and we'd rather be working, but guess what, you're not. Or you'd rather be going to school, but you're not, and you can do schoolwork. That's awesome. But I think we can learn a lot at this time. There's a lot of things that when we're having our busy show schedules and busy lives, that we skip past. So different pieces of training that we've always wanted to do or know there's holes, but there's a show, so we need to practice our pattern. So we got to practice our pattern instead of going back and doing the groundwork or whatnot. Or the knowledge things. There's so much knowledge to learn every day that, horse judging, if you sitting back and studying, that's going to make your riding better because you're going to know what the judges are looking for and what the faults are. So taking that time to soak in more of that information and grow in other ways will show tremendously in all of our futures. So that's something that I want to help with as well. So I want to provide you with some educational opportunities, some worksheets to be building our knowledge. I have a lot of opportunities that I'm planning on bringing out in April for myself, my show team, and anyone who wants to join in. So April, I'll have a training series that I'm going to come out with. So it's going to be 4 big topics of holes in training, that in the foundation of training, that are often missed and then that we just never go back and fix. And there's many times with my students that I've had to go back and fix these specific obstacles because we hit a spot that we're not getting past. So I want to share those with you, and we're going to have a Facebook group to go over them together and share videos, ask questions, and all of that. So I'm really excited for that, and I hope you'll join us. I will, through this campaign, I have titled it the Guard Your Heart and Spread Hope campaign. So I'll have a place on my website where you can join the Guard Your Heart campaign. And with that, I will send out emails with learning opportunities, whether it's for your kids, if it's something you already know or aren't interested in, but there's people in your life that have extra time, all these homeschool teenagers. It would be awesome to bring more knowledge and growth, as well as training opportunities, which are for everybody and anybody. And I also have some new trainings coming out as well. So I will try to fast forward those in this time to fill those holes and fill our time, so that we can make something productive, make lemonade out of lemons, and this extra time that we have to focus on things that we wouldn't typically focus on or take the time to. So I hope that you will join me in this mission to spread the hope, keep our perspective after you have chosen to guard your own heart and fill your brain and your soul with things that will keep perspective and gain knowledge in the appropriate ways so that you can make choices, and then making that lemonade out of the lemons and your situation, and coming out stronger on the other side. So make sure you're visiting. If you want more information on the different topics that we're going to have, KavitRanch.com. I'll continue to post all of the new opportunities on there, as well as Facebook at Kavit Ranch and Instagram at Kavit Ranch, and I'll be posting on there. I hope you'll join our email sequence so you don't miss any of it, for inspiration, encouragement, quotes that you can share with others, things to help you keep perspective, and then filling those spaces for you, your family, your friends, whoever needs or has extra time and wants to grow in ways that you don't typically take the time to. I hope you'll join me under one of those outlets. You are always welcome to message me and with ideas and your favorite quotes, and send me encouragement. I would love to share what you have as well, so that we can fill our communities, our hearts, our families, and come out of this pandemic and new situation in the world stronger than we ever were. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you'll join me next time. This is Kezzie Kavit from Team Kezzie Videocast, and I am so glad that you are here.